Okay, so JC's triple-double tonight, the first one since 2008. Just take me through that moment as his teammate.
He's awesome. I mean, the whole building was electric. Obviously, been a long time, but happy for him. He deserves it. He played a phenomenal game and does so much for us out there. But yeah, just to see that, and I think it's his first one ever, right? Mm-hmm. It's special. Yeah, it's real special.
He's also the first person, 38th in NBA history to come off the bench and score.
Off the bench, that's elite. That's why they call him 6, wherever he's at.
Perfect. Take me through that moment. Okay. So JC's triple-double tonight. Take me through that moment.
Oh, my gosh. It was awesome. Place went loud. I'm sure I had a funny reaction. I was jumping up and down. I was pretty excited. He's such a good player. And to see him do that, for him to break the so-and-so curse, I mean, it's just fitting. He's the longest tenured player right now on our team, so it just makes sense.
What were you guys saying to him as he's one rebound away?
He's got time. It was like he had one rebound left in 3 minutes, and we were telling him, you got time, you're good. You don't got to press it, because he was jumping out of bounds, trying to get a rebound, trying to, force it. But got one, called timeout. Place went crazy. So it was a lot of fun.
And it happened on New Year's.
Hey, new year, new him. So it's a good way to start.
Thanks. Okay, so JC's first career triple-double and the first triple-double since 2008. Just take me through that moment as his teammate.
It was exciting. That was an exciting moment just because we all basketball players, NBA players. We know how hard it is to get a triple-double. So that was the biggest thing. Just, of course, you can get 30 points, whatever. You get a hot night, but to get a triple-double is really, really tough.
As he's coming back to the huddle, what are you guys saying to him?
We just congratulating him and just tell him to keep going, encouraging him, and just tell him we're his teammates. So it was a cool, exciting moment.
How would you say, now we're going to move past this, but tonight's game against the Mavs, how would you say that 50-point loss against the Mavs motivated you all tonight?
Oh, yeah, it motivated, especially us starters. We wanted to come out and compete. We wanted to come out and try to lay the first hit, and I feel like we did that tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
Obviously, just a really, really well-played game by really our whole team. I thought defensively we did a really good job guarding 2 players that are very tough to cover. Obviously, Doncic ended up with 14 assists, but I felt like he had to play on the perimeter for most of the game. 13 of his 20 shots were threes. We didn't let him play in the middle of the court too much, which obviously was huge for us. Defensively, we mixed in a variety of defenses. Offensively, 37 assists. I mean, that's who we're trying to be. The ball was really moving around. Obviously, the second group caught a rhythm, especially Kelly and Jordan moving the ball. I thought guys like Simo and Ochai did a great job playing off of them. Keontae made some big plays. Walker did a great job operating in the dunker on the offensive side. Defensively, obviously, anchored us in the zone. And then Jordan, the triple-double. JC is a big part of our team. He sometimes unnecessarily catches some heat when he doesn't play great, but the way that he operates in our locker room with his teammates, with the coaching staff, he's a big part of the fiber of the team here. And, he had the 2 big games, Toronto and San Antonio. He closed the game. His last 2 games were not his best. He did not close those games. And then he came back tonight, obviously had a spectacular game. I think it's the first triple-double here since 2008. I said that like you guys don't know that already. So, yeah, just a really good team win. Obviously, based on how the last game against them went, a really big turnaround for our group. I thought the approach was there this morning. I thought the approach was there, pregame and all the way through. I thought the team did a pretty good job of not being too reactionary to guys like Irving and Doncic. We tried our best to dictate where they had to go with the ball. was just a really fun night at the Delta Center.
What were the conversations with Jordan like during the breaks in play as he kind of approached the triple-double?
I said, get a rebound and call timeout immediately. Like, I'm obviously not here to mess up a good time. I understand that I would have been maybe the most hated man in the building if I'd subbed him out. But there is a part of you where you're the head coach and you're like, the worst thing in the world would be Jordan like turning his ankle up 30, hunting for a triple-double. But again, I do recognize that those things are important. The way the building reacted, the way the fans reacted, the way the team reacted, the way that Jordan reacted to that. I was basically just begging him to just get a rebound and call timeout immediately so I could get him off the court. I'm happy it worked out.
You mentioned that he hadn't closed the past couple of games. Did he kind of take that as a challenge to step up his performance tonight? Or, I mean, how did he kind of approach things tonight, you think?
Yeah, Jordan's approach is always the same. He understands that we're trying to win, and on certain nights, like take last game, for example, he wasn't having a great night, and Collin had 20 points and was kind of in the flow of the game, and so we went with Collin. But Jordan doesn't complain. He doesn't say anything to me about it. He knows that I trust him. I mean, the last year and a half, he's closed a ton of games for us and been a focal point of what we're doing. So I don't know if he took it as a challenge. That's a question for Jordan. It was not intended to be a challenge to him, though. It was just in those moments of those games, those were the lineups that we felt were giving us the best chance to win. Obviously, like tonight, we let the second group kind of run out the game. I talked to Lowry. He's, got a little bit of soreness and a little banged up, and I just went to him and said, hey, if I don't have to put you back in, I'm not going to. Get you a few extra minutes of rest. This group is playing great, and Lowry was all about it. I think the more that we can channel that, the better that it's going to be for the group. Keeps everybody engaged in just trying to play well and trying to win every night.
There have been literally 1,000 triple-doubles since the Jazz last had one. Like, it's not a big deal around the NBA.
Yeah, the least impressed person was Luka, for sure. He was probably baffled why we all stood up and clapped. But
I was going to ask you about that. Like, so you come into kind of a new environment last year, and then this is a weird local thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's your reaction when you learned that was a streak that was happening, and then when it finally ends tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously didn't know about the streak until I got here. But I'm a part of the Jazz. I'm a part of Utah. I'm a part of the community. Like, all right, if it's a thing, it's a thing. Let's do it. I'm not looking at it with a side eye or what are they talking about? It's like, hey, I'm as big a part of the Jazz as any of you guys, and if that's a streak that we're trying to break, I'm all about that. That's kind of one of the fun parts about joining a franchise like this is that there's so many storylines and things that maybe I didn't know from a distance, but when you kind of immerse yourself in it, I just see myself as a part of the Jazz. So, there's no what are you talking about? I was as happy as anybody that he got the triple-double and that we got to celebrate the streak being over.
Does it seem, I guess, I don't know, what the right word is, special or deserved, considering that Jordan's the longest tenured player that's left here?
Yeah, I think that's a cool storyline for sure. I think also based on, narratives around Jordan at different times about just sort of being a gunner. I don't think anybody would have expected him to be the person that would get the triple-double with the assists and the rebounds. I mean, it shows that he's adapted to our group. He's adapted to a new role, and that he's really trying to expand how he contributes to winning. It's not just about scoring points. So, I think it's almost like if I could have picked somebody on our team right now to break the streak, it would have been Jordan.
Walker's had a really good run of just plus-minus numbers. What are you seeing differently from him that's allowed him to just be effective and maybe, I don't know if he's thinking less, or what are you seeing?
I think his physicality has been way better. I thought early in the game tonight, Lively caught the ball a little bit too deep in the paint, and then I thought in the second half Walker made a huge adjustment and he was meeting him higher in the lane. I think Walker's he's kind of just losing himself in the game, just playing as hard as he can. He's been really good in the back of the zone for us. Offensively, I think we've started putting him in a few different spots from a spacing standpoint, trying to involve him as a cutter, trying to get him some easy baskets. We've continued to harp on the team about when he's available for drop-offs, but more importantly, lobs, that we need to find him. It's a good pressure release for them as well. And I think that he's found a good rhythm with the groups that he's played with. Plus minus is not just because of him, but I think he provides a whole different element for us when he checks in the game from a defensive standpoint, and then on the offensive end, just because of his size, the offensive rebounding and finishing around the basket has been tremendous.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.